Good evening and welcome to A Spotlight on Business, a positive force for the community. Join host Jim Halter each Thursday evening from 6 to 7 on Talk 92.1 as he sits down with community businessmen and women showcasing the positive efforts at work in South Georgia and surrounding areas. Now here's your host, Diamond Jim Halter.
Welcome back to the Spotlight Show. We're talking tonight with Tom Kuttner, owner of Kickin K Soap Company in Lakeland, Georgia, and Christian Schmoe, owner of Schmoe Farms in Quitman, Georgia, on the Georgia-Florida line. Yep. Tom, how did you get into the Kickin K Soap business?
Well, we had started eating more naturally and had goats and cows for milk, and we started looking at all the stuff we were putting in our body through our skin, through our body. And we started making goat milk soap.
And I see where you started out. The name of your place was a Kickin K Ranch, and then you changed it to the...
Yeah, we all... One of our cows would go dancing and bucking and crazy when we walk out every night to see her after we get home from work, because we had full-time, day jobs, and we walk out there and Mabel would come just bucking around crazy like. And that's where, and our last name started with the K, so it became Kickin K.
Well, I've seen a lot of people that make the goat milk soap, but very few that do the cosmetics. And y'all have wound up where y'all really into the cosmetics.
We're
like
getting there.
You were talking earlier with Christian about the dishwasher.
Laundry soap. Yeah,
laundry soap.
Yeah, we make laundry soap, and that was something that we started making for us. We really didn't intend on selling it. Never thought. Just didn't really think about it. And had a customer ask us to make laundry soap, and we're like, well, we have some. And she goes, well, I'll buy it. And it's really turned out to be one of our best sellers. I have a hard time keeping enough of it made.
Fantastic. Christian, how'd you get into the business with Schmoe Farm?
Well, that came probably in my mid-20s. I started researching, all about our food systems and everything, because I was trying to figure out, what was wrong? Why has it been villainized, this industrial agriculture?
That's what Tom was saying.
Yeah. So what happened, and at the time I was living in New York City, and my husband and I just started looking at You Can Farm by Joel Salatin. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the Salatin pastured poultry profits and all that. But
I have all his books.
Yeah. He's sort of the father of the pasture-raised food movement. And there's a lot out there now about it, but we were living in Queens and a tiny apartment, and it just seemed like a great idea, and we were very fortunate. Originally, we moved down late 2015, and we got a place in Greenville, Florida. It's just down the road from our farm now.
Yeah, that's just down where you are.
Yeah, and we got our first laying flock, and it just sort of grew from there, and so here we are.
What was that? You said it went over my head. What kind of flock?
Laying flock. So,
laying flock.
Yeah,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where the pasture-raised eggs started.
Yeah, that was our first step, and then we added the broilers, and we added, in the past couple years, we've added our forest-raised pork, which has just been great for us. People love it. It's a great product, and I love pigs now. So
yeah. Well, I'd heard about the pigs over in Spain where they eat acorns, and that's all they feed them and all. But that stuff's like $400 a pound.
Yeah, we do. Our pigs are heritage. They're not Iberian like what you're talking about. They do have access to acorns and plants, much like the Iberian Spanish-raised hogs. But they are not at the price point that you have your Iberian hogs at.
Is that what they are, Iberian?
Yeah, Blackfoot or Iberian, yeah.
Wow.
Ours are Berkshires and Old Spots, and a cross of the two.
Yeah, so. And then you get your feed, your additional feed from, it's non-GMO.
Yeah, we use a non-GMO feed that we've locally sourced from S&M Farm in Pelham, Georgia. They are the best mill around. If you are looking for an all-natural feed for your animals, I highly recommend S&M Farm. They do deliver, and they source all of their ingredients locally, and they use the Fertrell vitamin mix and the probiotics, and they'll do all that for you. And it's just, we're so blessed to have them.
And they sell our soap.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay. Because y'all are both have the same philosophy.
Yeah. We're just attacking from different angles.
Yeah. That's why I wanted y'all both to be on the same show, because y'all have my philosophy.
Yeah.
And I've learned over the years that most people don't know about this. They've got to go out and read and learn for themselves.
Pay the farmer or pay the doctor.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science,
Yeah. Christian, the one thing about your eggs, if it's Easter.
Yeah, we have two different kinds of layers. We have Novagens, which lay those brown eggs, and we have a small number of Americanas, which some people think of or call the Easter eggers, and they lay those blue and green eggs, and we just do that. They're not the best layers, but they do add a lot of attraction and bring people into our stand at markets when they see it. So
yeah, because you open your box of eggs and you've got two sizes. You got the dozen and then the other, and then you open it up and there's blues and greens and they're all pastels. And they're beautiful.
Well, and that's part of the joy of it is you should be joyful about how your food looks and where it comes from, and that's part of the whole package for me. So
well, when I cracked them open, I was looking and I couldn't tell the difference between them.
Oh, yeah. An egg could be white, brown, blue, green, black, whatever. It's all about what's inside of it and how it got into.
Just like people.
Inside. Yeah. That's a good point.
What causes that change to the shell?
Just the breed of chicken.
Gotcha.
I'm sure there's some genetic reason that I can't explain very well, but yeah, it's the type of chicken. So.
Gotcha. But they are beautiful.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we're going to have to take a quick break. And you're listening to the Spotlight Show on Talk 92.1 FM or Talk921.com streaming. Thank you.
Plants, and they can roam. They have plenty of room to roam and just be the pigs that they are intended to be. And as a result, we get the best tasting pork around. We also get pigs that you don't need to pump medicine in or hormones or anything like that because they're a heritage breed. They know how to take care of themselves, and they know to eat the things that heal them if they're having issues, that are in the woods. And also all of their waste just goes right back into the woods. So it's not on concrete or going into manure lagoons. And so it's a regenerative agriculture that feeds back into the forest.
Yeah, I've got a friend that's got a horse, and his horse got sick. And then he changed the pasture, and then all of a sudden, he noticed that every day the horse was going down by where the water was on that side of the field and everything. And he watched him, and the horse was going over, and he was eating sheep sorrel. And after 3 or 4 days of eating the sheep sorrel, the horse was well. So the horse knew what it needed. So it was over there eating the sheep sorrel. And come to find out, in natural remedies and everything, sheep sorrel is good for a lot of stuff.
I'm not familiar with it, but that's the thing. If you give animals access to a natural environment, they can take care of themselves, and that's the beauty of this kind of farming.
Because there's a natural tea that's made. There was a nurse up in Canada came up with it. It's good for a lot of natural things to help in sickness and all, and sheep sorrel is one of the ingredients in that tea. So that's
Jim,
what got me interested in it.
Yeah, I always think about this whenever I hear stuff like your farm, Christian, is I came across one of the very first TED Talks I ever watched was a guy talking about going around New York City trying to re-find this fantastic fish that he had. He had fish that was just so fantastic. He wanted to re-find it, and he went to all these different places. Couldn't remember where he got it to begin with. And everybody else had just the worst fish in the whole wide world. And so he wanted to find that fish place and find out where the fish came from. And long story short, it's very much like what you do. It was an all natural farm. They were not piled up together. They were not being fed chicken pellets. They weren't, it was a natural environment, and it wasn't just fish that were there. It was other different animals that were on the farm as well. But that was my first introduction to, I think we can raise our animals, we can eat our animals, and we can raise them correctly, and the food will be 10 times better.
Yeah, and humanely.
Right, exactly.
And that's such a big part of it, those 4 tenets, the environmental benefits, the health benefits to us, the humane benefits, and also the economical benefits. Because when you go to the store and you buy a Smithfield ham, well, I think most of us know that Smithfield ham is a Chinese-owned company, and it has been for many years.
Yeah.
So when you go and you think you're getting a good deal on that spiral ham, you're just funneling your money to China when, really you could be purchasing locally and helping with that economy.
And they've been force-feeding them hogs with
what you
corn.
doing, Tammy? Oh, God, yeah, don't get me started
on sprayed with Roundup.
Yeah, those
It's
concentrated
GMO,
animals.
and the reason it's GMO is because they spray it with Roundup to keep the weeds down.
They have found glyphosate Roundup in formula and neonatal wards, in the food being fed to geriatric patients. The most at risk people in the world are getting Roundup or glyphosate.
Yeah, and
because it goes through the food chain. I mean, they feed them the corn; it's got it in it, and then it goes in. We could talk.
But Monsanto is not an evil company anymore because they bought Bayer and they've changed their name to Bayer.
Yeah.
So now when you're buying Bayer aspirin, you're supporting.
Oh, it's the same Bayer? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes. It's the same company.
Yeah, and they've changed the name on it too.
Yeah,
you can buy it under various trade names. It's not all just Roundup now.
Glyphosate is the actual. Roundup is the one that's made by Monsanto or Bayer now.
Well, that's what our farm does. Our mission is to give people an alternative to being chained to the store or to whatever food source that they're getting from. And there are ways that you can order it online. It's a lot more expensive, but I would like to see 300 more farmers just like me supporting Valdosta,
in South Georgia.
Yeah, instead of outsourcing everything to everywhere, Anyway, it's all connected.
It is.
Yeah, and there's a dairy over near you over toward Thomasville. What is it, Sweetgrass Dairy?
The dairy is actually now in
the pigs. You said Berkshires. I've heard of Berkshires.
Yeah, Berkshire.
But I ain't never heard of those spots.
Old spots.
That's fish, as far as I know. They call them redfish down in Florida spots.
Well, they're called that because they're a pale pink pig, and they have to have at least one or two black spots on them. And I have some that are papered heritage, and I have some that are mixed with Berkshire. I'm really trying to nativize my herd to fit in our area so that they grow as well as they can for what they are, and that they're the most successful in the environment that I give them. So, and with pigs, you can have 2.5 litters a year, so you can really fine tune pig litter a lot faster than cows. Yeah.
They breed almost as fast as chickens, don't
they? They breed faster than rabbits. It should be breed like pigs. We started with 3 and we have like 60 next week. It seemed like it anyway.
Yeah.
Wow. So
and that's the same principle that our poultry has, that we have out on pasture, and our chickens, our layers we have out with my family has cows that they use. It's not a grass cow, it's a feeder cap operation, but the chickens are out with the cows and they scratch up the cow patties and they eat the bugs and they kind of sanitize the area that they're in. And they also enrich the soil to get a stronger root system, which means that they're doing more carbon sequestration. So they're pulling in those greenhouse emissions. So we're actually, by eating this kind of food, we're stimulating more carbon sequestration. So it's world-saving food.
Christian, you went right over my head.
That was all perfect because that's just.
But I like what you said.
The ecosystem.
It's
a natural environment.
And you can't listen to the news these days without hearing about climate change. And we know that 1/3 of those greenhouse emissions come from everything related to industrial agriculture, and 75% of that is from animal production. So that is a huge number that we can flip on its head just by moving the animals from their factories and concrete floors onto pasture, or the forest in my case.
Wow. Yeah, I see. Go ahead, Tom.
It's just like E. coli 157, the deadly one. There's lots of E. coli bacteria, but the deadly one is 157. And they found out if they took corn-fed beef and took it off of grain and put it on pasture for 2 or 4 weeks before butchering it, 95% of the 057 E. coli was gone.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
If we raise the animals right, like he's doing with the pigs and the chickens, that's why we first got chickens back when we had cows. We didn't get them for eggs. We got them clean up behind the cows.
Okay.
And if we raise the animals that way, then we do away, all of this stuff of, cow farts are destroying the atmosphere. They actually are improving it if it's done the way intended. But when you when you crowd these things into a
feedlot.
And just and it's like people tell me they're like, "You eat your goats?" I said, "Yeah, we do. We eat some of the boys." And and they're like, "That's cruel." I said, "No, it's not.
No, it's not."
I said, "Our goats have a good life. That boy's name gets loved, gets cared for, and then it goes to freezer camp."
Oh yeah, a beautiful life and just one bad day. But don't we all have that?
Yeah.
Don't we all have?
And then it goes to freezer camp and it's dinner for me or somebody else. But yet you go to whatever grocery store you shop at, and you go and you buy a T-bone from a cow that's stood in its own manure for the last 2 months of its life.
Ouch.
And was treated like crap the rest of it.
Yeah.
And yet I'm inhumane. Honey, I don't think so.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's just I know where. And there was when we first got into goats, I couldn't eat one.
Sure.
But you learn it's a necessary thing. There's only so many room for so many boys.
Yeah.
I can't milk them.
That's right.
Well, I learned very early on not to name my animals because we eat all of our animals, and so there's a weird vibration when you are eating, good old Beverly.
We had a couple of girls we called a while back, and I tell you what.
It's a celebration, a life celebration.
Right, it is a celebration.
I mean, she tasted good. I'm sorry. Hope was a really good tasting goat.
Grateful.
And I'm thankful to her. But yes, I named her, and it doesn't bother me. It used to. Now I've got some animals. I've got some like that we've had for like the retired milker I have. Yeah, she'll be buried in an honored place on our property. But the ones that if we call one for not producing or for not being a good animal,
Christian, on your website, you've got about Happy Chickens.
Yeah.
But also over under the spot and the Berkshire hogs and everything, you've got that they forage on nuts and mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
What I want to know with these Happy Chickens, are they finding some of these magic mushrooms that the hogs are missing?
Well, we don't really have I think you're referring to psilocybin. We don't have that because they sterilize the gut bacteria in the cows in our area. So we don't really have that growing, but I can imagine they find all kinds of other things to munch on that may not be psychedelic, but are just as enjoyable to eat.
What are some of the products that you have with all these forest-raised hogs?
Bacon, meat.
But half the time you can't get bacon from you. I've been to the Valdosta and to the Hayhira, and you didn't have no bacon.
We have a mailing list.
Pre-order.
So if you go to our if you go to our website schmoefarm.com, SCHMOE farm.com, you can sign up for our mailing list, and those are the people that get first dibs when we take our pigs to the butcher, and we pretty much pre-sell all the bacon because the bacon truly is the gateway drug into the rest of the pork cuts for the forest-raised pork because it's so different. It's like eating pork for the first time, and that's why I even got into this farming is because I ate a pastured chicken. I was like, what is this? This does not taste like the chicken I'm used to. It was vibrant. It was clean tasting. It wasn't, mushy like the store chickens are. And it just had a life and an immune system. And so it was so much better for me. And I felt energized after eating it, I swear. And same thing with like raw milk or our pork chops or whatever. I feel energy after a meal. I don't feel like I need to go take a 2-hour nap.
So you have bacon and pork chops.
All the cuts, yeah. We have tons of sausage cuts. We're adding chorizo, Italian, and bratwurst next week. And we've got the pork chops. We do nice, thick, 1.25 inch cuts because we like those dino chops.
Oh.
And we have everything is on our website. You can check it out. You can place your order. We do deliver in this area here, Thomas County, Brooks County, and we meet people at pickup points. So we are highly engaged in getting this food out to you.
But I got one problem. I went to the Hayhire thing last week, and I got some sausage from him, the hot sausage.
Yeah.
I've had hot sausage every day since last Saturday.
He doesn't have any
I've
more
had
sausage.
it 3 times, and how many days? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I've had it over half the time since I got back.
And why is that the problem?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is that a problem?
That sounds like a good thing.
I mean,
sounds like you got a problem that Christian can fix.
Yeah, well,
it don't compare to the sausage you get
it
out of the
doesn't.
Walmart store.
Right.
it's so different. Yeah, there's no
Oh
comparison.
man,
It's a totally different product.
Yeah.
it doesn't. Well, it's not.
Take a break before I gnaw
It's
my
different.
arm off.
Yeah.
It's different. Well, we're going to have to take a break for our sponsors. So we're going to take a quick break, and you're listening to the Spotlight Show on Talk 92.1 FM, or you can stream it live on talk921.com.
With any major purchase we make, we want
business on Talk 92.1.
Welcome back to the Spotlight Show. We're talking with Tom Kuttner, owner of Kickin K Soap Company in Lakeland, Georgia, and with Christian Schmoe, owner of Schmoe Farms, Quitman, Georgia, on the Georgia-Florida line. So we've been having a lot of fun talking about happy chickens and everything. And they've got all kind of different locations coming up with the summertime, with the farm shows and the market shows and everything. Tom, the next few weeks.
I will be joining Tom at the Makers Market in Valdosta this weekend. So if you're in Valdosta, come out and support it. It's so cool to see what your community can produce for you.
And where's that at?
That is in Courthouse Square, and it's from 10 to 2. And I'm told that they'll have a bluegrass band this time, so cool. I'm hoping it'll be a little groovier. Yeah, a little swingier. I don't know what you call it. But and we'll also, this Saturday, we'll also be at the Hayhira Market. That's Hayhira Happenings, and that's from 9 to 12. So they're having a big fundraiser this weekend. But additionally from that, you can also find us other weekends in Thomasville, and we do various at Relish from 10 to 2. And we sell with Wild Carrot Farm in Georgia. They're an organic heirloom vegetable producer, and that's hard to find in this area. So, but beyond that, our website is open 24/7.
I tested it out to make sure. I said, Google, Schmoe Farm, Quitman, Georgia, and it came right up. It took me right to your website and everything.
Oh, good.
So if you'll do it on Google, I'm sure Siri, let me have Schmoe Farm, Quitman, Georgia, or Kickin K, Lakeland, Georgia. I mean, it'll bring it right up. In this modern day and age, it's not hard to find stuff.
Yeah.
All you got to do is ask your telephone.
Yeah.
So we've covered the locations and everything.
I just use the tablespoon of his laundry soap.
Yeah.
And my clothes are pretty rank, so I'll just throw that out there because, being out with the pigs.
Out with the chickens and the pigs.
Clean and soft. Yeah, I get all kinds of poop on me. So, but it was clean and fresh, and it was just wonderful. I didn't know laundry soap could be all natural like that, so that was cool.
What's the one thing that you want to bring out tonight to people?
Well,
stand out.
That is a tough one, isn't it?
I got you.
I would just say, if you miss the taste of a good, truly farm fresh egg, or if you miss the taste of a good chicken, or if you miss having flavor in your pork, reach out to us. We've got the flavor aspect covered. And if it's animal welfare that you're concerned about in your food, reach out to us too, because that's what we do. And, save the world with the food that you eat.
Okay.
I like it.